We're ready.
Yeah. Okay, we're going live.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order the executive committee meeting for the Salinas Valley Recycles today, Wednesday, November 5th, 2025 at 2:35 p.m. Roll call, please.
Culture Vice President De La Rosa. Here. Vice President Church.
Sure.
And President Silva.
Present. Thank you. General Manager. Comments?
No comments today.
Thank you. We'll go to the department manager. We'll start with Ray. Nada. Caesar.
So just a quick heads up, the landfill methane rule by CARB is gonna probably get voted in later on this month. That's gonna bring some impacts to the facility. It's gonna make stricter compliance timelines. It's gonna require upgrades to the system and technology probably. So we're gonna be looking at another unfunded mandate. Brian and I have already been talking. We're probably gonna put a presentation together for the board either December or January.
Okay.
But we're probably looking at just ballparking it. We're thinking 250, $500,000 hit. That's unfunded. We don't know how we're gonna do it. No one, they're gonna make the regulation pretty much stricter for everybody. It's already strict enough as it is, but the timeline are gonna get shorter for responses to hits on the system, on the natural gas system. So we'll put it together, presentation, we'll bring back to the board, and then we'll also work with Ray as we get into the budget cycle. Because it's definitely gonna be a hit, whether we do it in-house, gather more staff for the agency, or we farm it out to a vendor. Either way, it's gonna be very pricey, and the turnaround time for inheritance is gonna be very short. So we'll definitely bring this forward, get some more information to the board, because it's coming down real fast, and we're thinking the implementation is gonna be
Immediate.
yeah, as soon as it has it. So just a heads up for the board, because it's something that they've been working on, and it's gonna come real fast, and it's not funded by anybody. So
Right, so to be clear, there's existing landfill methane rule regulations, this is a revision to it. So it's been about 10 years since the last.
so they're gonna pretty much make everything way more strict than what it currently is.
And it sounds like it's under Chris Lopez's favorite topic.
Oh, yes, all this is extremely unfunded.
It's
the work-
Yeah,
And the worst part is they are watching us right now.
I was just gonna ask, how is it monitored? Do they have methane gas police?
They have satellites.
so that's part of the new program.
Oh, AI, huh?
So, yeah, part of the stuff, technology that they may ask to do is like drones, flyovers, just constant monitoring of the natural gas system, stuff like that. It's gonna make it harder for us to just do everyday business. Take walls off in the morning, put them back on potentially at the end of the day. You have staff there in the morning to take those off while we open the active face, and then there again at the end of the day to put them back on overnight. So they're gonna make everything very strict. It's an unfunded mandate.
And all these decisions are being made by those that are elected officials in Sacramento.
Yes. You have no idea how.
What are the penalties on, right, going around?
So that's right, that's a great question. So the violation penalties aren't detailed in the LMR revisions, but they are up to the local air board agencies. So depending on violations and what they consider a violation, they have their own schedule of how they assess penalties based on previous instances, based on a variety of factors. So those are dictated by the local agency.
And how quick you respond and
Right.
those issues as well.
So we've engaged with MBARD, and they fully understand that. They reached out to us and asked us how possibly we could ever comply with it. So we're like, they're not sure how they're gonna enforce it, so.
Is this something SWANA can provide any kind of?
SWAT's lobbied hard against it.
To know that,
Well, I mean, the problem is, and it's always the problem with regulations in Sacramento, is they're written by people that, one, don't have any experience, right, in the industry itself. Two, they don't really reach out and ask for our opinions before they write the rules. So they write the stringent rules, and we end up going through our lobbyists and our electeds in Sacramento and getting them to amend the rules and fix them after the fact. It's always the case. Even AB 939, we've been fixing that for 35 years. It was never perfect. 1383, same thing. It's continuing to be fixed when, the state finally comes to their senses and realizes, oh, please, I guess this rule really wasn't enforceable or reasonable or compliable. So it's all
Yeah,
bad.
just report of that comment, the comments to the LMR, for the public, for the LMR, are due November tenth, and the adhering to adopt them is November 28th. So there's no opportunity to revise and recirculate.
So our comments are,
That's our problem with everything, pretty much. What people, you can fit that into just about every. What you just said, right, just about every piece of legislation, every problem coming down, not just for landfills and everything, but for anything.
yeah, there's an umbrella reason they want to do this, obviously to reduce methane emissions, to reduce greenhouse gases. And that's great. Landfills just happen to be the most convenient target because we're stationary. Most of us are government or owned by large corporations. So we're deep pockets. It's a little harder when you're talking about an oil field or something else, you know, where it's spread out over a large area. How much of it is nature, how much of it is associated with, you know, extraction activities. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm sure they mean well, but the application of the law is extremely unreasonable. But as always, we'll make it happen.
Okay, thank you. Is that all you have, Steve? Right? Nothing additional, Mandy?
On a light note, Wally Waste Not is turning 25 years old this year, so we are having a birthday celebration for our mascot. This is Wally. And that will be on November 15th at the Ed Center. I invite you all to come out. We'll have cupcakes for Wally, burritos, a cornhole tournament, and some composting workshops and demonstrations. I think Greenfield Science Workshop will be there repairing bikes. We just got a call that we'll have a Folkloria club that would like to come out and perform. So from Soledad, which is great. And a couple other things activities and things like that. So praying for no rain for that day, fingers crossed, but
That starts at 11?
it starts at 11. Okay. And November 15th. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday out at the Ed Center at Johnson.
I know I have something here at Steinbeck House first, I think early in the morning, but I should be back in time. Thank you. Is that it from our managers? Okay, we'll go over to Roy for any legal counsel comments.
Thank you, Madam President. I would just add to the earlier conversation that unfortunately, in drafting legislation, a lot of times no one thinks of how you actually apply it or enforce it. They just draft it and let it fly. And this is one of those cases, which we run into pretty regularly. But anyways, I'll be providing Erica and Patrick with a update and guide for the SB 707 regulations, which are the changes to the Brown Act. So that should be coming out shortly to help navigate the conditions that go into effect January 1st, and then those that are going to go into effect in July. So that'll be coming out shortly. No other announcements from me at this time.
And SB 707, that's the first time I hear that number. It's with regards to new things that are coming down for the Brown Act.
Yeah, it's the new Brown Act regulations for they haven't broken down by size for some of them. So some of the more restrictive components will be based on the size of your city or your county. But there still are, a pretty good amount of changes that will apply even to the smaller cities. So what I could do, Madam President, is I could forward you the guide that we prepared for cities. And then for counties and JPAs, we have a separate guide. So that one I'll be sending to Erica so that she has it, and Patrick have it for going forward. So we're ready to hit the ground running in January.
Okay, that would be helpful. I know, I didn't know what the number was, but the legal counsel for the city of Gonzales at our council meeting on Monday did mention something that there were some updates coming forward for the Brown Act, but I wasn't sure exactly what they were. But yeah, if you could share them with us, that would be great. It's not urgent because I'm sure we'll all be hearing from our own legal counsel in our own jurisdictions at some point coming up. Thank you, Roy. Anything
You're
else?
welcome. No, that would be it.
All right. Any comments from any of our EC members? Gloria?
Just that, Veterans Day is coming up on Monday and, the city of Salinas, our parade got canceled twice. For the organizer and, Greenfield, is taking an event over. And they said they're having a parade, so it's questionable, because we haven't heard, but they're inviting Monterey County veterans to attend at 2 o'clock in Greenfield. And then they're having something at the memorial, in their posts. And we here in the city of Salinas, Garden of Memories at 8 o'clock in the morning, they do a read. And then up at the hill, we call it the hill, off the Laurel, the memorial, the Vietnam Memorial Park. At 11 o'clock, they have the ceremony, which is really a very nice ceremony if you've never been. And that's about it, what we're having here in Salinas for Veterans Day.
Thank you. Glenn? How'd you?
Yeah.
How'd you?
Everyone to add.
Okay,
What?
we're good.
We're good.
Okay. And I usually come to the Veterans Day Parade, so I was disappointed that organizers canceled it, but I understand their reasoning. And I am planning to go up to the hill. However, this Friday, November 7th in Gonzales, we will be recognizing our hometown heroes. We did it last year, and there was quite a few people who said, well, why didn't you let me know? You know, it's like I have to knock on everybody's door personally. But we're gonna add some new posters this year. Starts at 11 at our Central Park if the weather cooperates. Everything is with regards to the weather now. So that's pretty much all I have too. Okay, so we'll go into public comments. This is the time we receive public comment from the audience on items that are not on today's agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. And is there anyone here in the room? It's nobody from the public here. It's just staff members and EC members. Is there anyone on Zoom?
Nobody on Zoom.
Was there anyone from email?
No emails received.
Thank you. Then we'll bring it back to our items of consideration today. The minutes of our October 1st EC meeting. Any discussion among Glenn and Gloria? 4 minutes? Yep. Do I hear for approval? Thank you. I'll second.
Go with it.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passed. Thank you. Next item, September 2025 claims and financial reports. Staff report, please.
Okay, September 30th, the year's already quarter of the way over. Year to date, our revenue budget is ahead on 230,000, 100,000 ahead for solid waste tipping fees. So projections are right in line. Most of the revenue we're ahead on this investment earnings. We were expecting interest rates to drop and haven't quite dropped far enough as fast as anticipated, but good shape on the revenue budget, expenditure budget. None of the departments are over 25%, at least not by a significant amount that we're not expecting expecting. Total expenditures for year to date are actually running below what we spent at this time last year on the larger budget. So we're at 30% of our expenditure budget spent with we're at 32%. So expenditures are below projections and revenue just barely above right now, but good shape for the budget so far year to date. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Okay.
Not parade today.
Okay. So. So we're in agreement to leave it to the board for consideration? All right, so we'll say it's done by consensus. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll move on to number 3. For resolution approving the allocation of cash balances for fiscal year 2024-25 and supplemental appropriations to the operating and capital improvement budgets. Staff.
Okay, so this is a routine item that we bring forward right after the audit is complete, and we're certain that the cash balances are done at the end of the year. At the end of June 30th, 2024, we had just shy of $40 million in cash. The majority of that is pre-allocated, 5.2 million for closures, some state grant funding money, some money held in trust, money already designated to reserves in prior years, and then items assigned for budgets such as capital, such as capital projects, credit course, the post-closure budgets and along the road. So once we back out all the money that's been pre-allocated, we're left with just over $4.2 million. Next slide, please. Okay, so a couple months ago, the board approved a $420,000 budget for the waste characterization study, with the caveat that money would come from fund balance prior to allocation. So once we back that out, we're left with 3.9 million. And then per the financial policies, that's spread 60% to capital project reserves, 20% operating reserves, and 20% to the environmental reserves. Next. So after those allocations, we'll have a balance of 7.8 million for capital reserves. As we mentioned, we will need to borrow about $2 million, so that for the new cell that we'll be building is going out to bid. But once we have the final number, we'll do that. Which still leaves 5.8 million plus 5.2 for an expansion fund, which is about 11 million, which should build us a transportation and Crazy Horse. Once that's approved, and hopefully I will have money to do the Johnson Canyon project as well down the line. Environmental impairment reserves will be at just high of 44 million. It's actually close to fully funded, 94.6% now. And then we'll have 4.5 million in operational reserves, funded at 73%. That's just not fully funded because we've increased the allotment in the last couple of years. So it had been fully funded at 15% as of 2 years ago, but the goal is 25% now. So pretty straightforward. The only caveat outside of it is that we did set aside 420,000 for that CIP. That I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Glenn?
Nope, happy to have it go forward.
Okay, and I'm happy to have it go forward, but earlier Caesar mentioned this unfunded mandate that could cost up to about 500,000. Is it possible to either do a capital improvement allocation or?
Well, the problem is it's 500,000 annually, and it will be an ongoing operational cost.
Over this up here?
Yeah, so you can't.
Holy
You
moly.
don't typically want to use reserves for ongoing operational needs.
So understood.
We don't run out of money very quick. Once we have dollar amounts, and we've done this in the past for other things, we can use reserves to maybe get us through a small portion to take when maybe if the impact's too big to swallow at one time, where we can face it increases over a couple of years and possibly just kind of lean on reserves for a year to help us get through. But until we know final numbers, I wouldn't know what to recommend.
I guess I missed that too about the annual. I thought it was more of a one-time.
I did too. I understood it to be a one-time
No,
expense.
it's an annual ongoing, they're thinking between 250 to 500,000.
There will be a one-time, there will be some capital.
Yeah,
There's some continuous monitoring equipment that's going to be required on like a wellheads.
Yeah.
So there will be a capital component too, but again, we're still waiting for the regulations to really.
So-
and anytime there is a one-time cost or something, that is what we recommend as the reserves. But
So
the
our budget would
ongoing-
be amended then at the half year mark, or we're just gonna? I mean, that expense
Mhm.
for this year. Let's just say it's,
Well, once we have a number, we can possibly use reserves to get through this year, knowing that with going in the budget cycle, we'll have to have an adjustment.
And the airport is aware that we're a public agency and we can't just turn on a dime, and we discussed that. And so we agreed pending the results of this, to sit down, and have a thoughtful, rational approach to implementation. Because they get it, right? They have budgets too, they can.
So then, I guess the long range is, this is gonna affect the ratepayers.
Yes,
So,
that's what unfunded mandates usually end up doing.
well, yeah, I mean, that's all of us and
Yeah.
we're gonna end up having to pay extra.
Well,
That's everybody in the state.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same way.
right.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned about our,
I agree. I'm a ratepayer too.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, right now we pay X, but now we're gonna have to pay 3X,
Yeah,
you know, in the next fiscal year,
Correct.
obviously. Okay,
yeah, but like, until we know what the exact regulations are, we can sit down and kind of estimate what those costs are. There's something we can do with it. If we feel we need to implement something in this fiscal year, then yeah, we'll borrow from reserves to get us through the rest of the year, so we can adjust our rates right now.
okay, and I was like, Glenn, I thought it was a one-time cost.
Yeah,
I did not know it was gonna be an
yeah,
ongoing. Okay, thanks for clarifying that.
no problem.
Are there any comments from the public? Seeing no one here in the room, is there anyone on Zoom? Nobody on Zoom. Anyone on email? No. Thank you. I'll bring it back, and I think the consensus of the EC is to move forward to the board. Thank you. Appreciate it. Item number 4, a resolution approving supplemental appropriation of $89,775 for Cal Recycles 2025-26 Local Government Waste Tire Amnesty Grant TA8.
Oh, I'm giving this report. Okay. We received okay. Elliot writes these, but we received a grant for $90,000 for our tire amnesty. They do go into your cycles. The last one just ended. So the resolution is just to approve the actual budget allocation, so we can, so the Mandy and her team could start scheduling these tire amnesty events and spending money. And Mandy, want to add anything? No? That's great.
Well, I will add something. Because we were in between the Sunday funding cycles, normally we would have had a tire amnesty event right in October and November, because we had several still cleanup events happening with the hauler, so we like to coordinate with them so that we can do it for the cleanup events as well. But because we were in between the funding cycles, we didn't have anything, so we actually were just talking about that before this meeting, because there seems to be King City has a project, and I think Salinas just called and said they had some tires found in the park somewhere. So we said, hold on to them, and as soon as we get the funding approved, that maybe we would hold something January, February, and then go back to our normal schedule of around Earth Day, springtime for the cleanups coming up next year. So.
In the report, I noticed that, and I guess I made an assumption, this was just for regular vehicles and not commercial tires. Does it include commercial tires as well?
It does not.
Okay, because I said in there it had some kind of commercial or
It does $75. That's our fee.
that's our fee.
That's our fees.
Yeah, we charge
Yeah.
for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the tire amnesty is meant for residential tires.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Any comments from committee?
Well, yes, I actually do. So, if we could scroll down to the background, I was curious, a couple of things. The little chart is a box.
Yeah.
I noticed it got more, 2 questions. I know it got more expensive more recently, which everything did, but it seemed like it suddenly made a jump. And so I was kind of curious, you know, a few years ago, why that caused that. But then second, on the year 2013, 2014, I mean, did we really only spend $2,971, but why did it cost $1.76 per tire if they're down to that point?
Well, that was before all of our times, except for
It doesn't look right. Is there?
It does not look right. So, well, we can go back and double check that, but
Because they collected a lot of tires.
Yeah,
No, we did collect 30,000.
I think the number, there
That
must be
would've-
something missed there. It
I think
should
there's-
probably be maybe more like 50.
72.
It's probably a 52,971 instead of 29.
Yeah,
That would be a little closer to,
Yeah.
oh, I thought maybe Ray made a mistake here, but.
Like, if you
Yeah,
had,
that's what I was trying to catch here.
I make mistakes, but if you scroll up, the name of the staff report is Elia.
Never, yeah.
But I know my staff, that's many.
But I'll say, I'm kind of curious on why
Yeah.
it was for so many years, just
Yeah.
and then, one something, and then all of a sudden it went to 2 and 3 and.
so the cost of hauling the trailers skyrocketed. And they originally tried to just like drop it on us and we said, could you phase that in? And so that's, you see from the $1.30 to the 2, that was, we were trying to have them phase in their cost of the tire recycling.
We'll go back and double check those numbers to make sure they're correct for the fourth staff.
Okay.
It did go up about 80%
Yeah,
from one year to another,
Yeah,
the tires, the trailers.
And even during the pandemic years, it was steadily going.
yeah, we had a lot of people doing cleanouts
Yeah.
during the pandemic, then nothing else to
Yeah,
do, so, yeah.
It was very busy during.
Okay,
just still want you to know, I am keeping an eye on your numbers.
I appreciate that.
okay, so with no further comments from the committee, I'll take it out of public comment. Seeing no one here in the room, is there anyone on Zoom? Nobody else. Any emails? No emails received. Then I'll bring it back. Is it the consensus of the EC to move it forward? Yes? Sorry? Okay, we'll move it forward to here. Thank you. Okay, that's $5 for a call during this meeting. Pay the piggy. Okay, future agenda items.
All right, so for November, have mostly our normal items. You'll see the fund balance item coming back for final approval. We'll be bringing back the strategic plan summary from a few months ago, as well as the grant approval. You'll also be getting a presentation on our electronic annual report. This is our report to Cal Recycle on everything and anything that our jurisdiction, our haulers, everybody participates in terms of diversion, compliance with all various ABs and SPs that we have to live with. So we get that very compelling report on all the great things that the agency and our partners are working on. We'll have the next final hearing, the final reading on the code amendment to purchasing limits for the next general manager. And we'll be doing nominations for executive committee, which should be fairly easy since it'll be you three again. Unless one of you wants to step in, but we'll let the nominating committee that you appoint ask that question.
Full appointment.
Yeah. Then we have a couple, again, some ongoing items related to negotiations, both labor negotiations and recruitment on that for the next year in closed session.
Anybody have anything to add for the future agenda items? If not, then we will adjourn at, what time is it? 3:03 to close session. Thank you.
I think you have to read out that.
Oh, I do. I'm sorry. All 3 items?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, you beat, I couldn't get my mute button off fast enough. But yeah, we have to read out the 3 items.
Thank you.
I got your back, Roy.
Item number 6, pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.8 to confer with General Counsel Roy C. Santos and Real Property Negotiators, General Manager CAO Patrick Matthews, Assistant GM, Ops Manager Cesar Zuniga, and Engineering and Environmental Compliance Manager Brian Kennedy concerning the possible terms and conditions of acquisition, lease, exchange, or sale of APN 223-042-004-000. Item 7, pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6 to provide instruction to General Manager CAO Patrick Matthews, Assistant GM, Operations Manager Cesar Zuniga, and General Counsel Roy C. Santos to negotiate salaries and benefits of the Salinas Valley Recycles Field Operations Unit. And number 8, pursuant to Government Code Section 54957 to confer with General Counsel Roy C. Santos and General Manager CAO Patrick Matthews concerning appointment of public agency employee, General Manager. Now we will adjourn to closed session at 3:04.
For all official government.
Okay, we will resume to open session at 3:33 PM. Is there any reportable action?
No reportable action at this time, Madam President.
Okay, seeing nothing, then we will adjourn and see you all at the regular meeting on the 20th. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.